Hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. This is another one of our Christmas coffee mugs from my mother-in-law. This one has Old Man St. Nicholas on it. One of the more traditional depictions of him. And today's tea is our fourth and final tea from our Sips by box in November. This is the Organic India Tulsi Cinnamon Rose Stress Relieving and Mystical Caffeine Free Certified Organic Tea. It smells very light and delicate, so I'm looking forward to giving it a taste. You do get a hint of the floral in there, the rose, so let's go ahead and see if I like it. That's a nice tea. It wouldn't be a favorite. It's not like the sweet dessert teas that I normally like, but it's not bad. I think I can live with that. I can't really give you a flavor profile, unfortunately. I'm trying. I do get a little bit of the cinnamon. Tastes almost like there's vanilla or something like that in there. There's no bitter aftertaste. Thank goodness after our last tea. Okay, I ended up giving all of those tea bags to my son, and I don't even know if he's gonna like them. Okay, but this is a nice tea. It's a really, really nice tea. So our CurlBox finally arrived. We're going into Christmas. I'm expecting things to be a little bit crazy, but over the last week and a half or so, I've had delays on at least 3 different packages. And one of them went completely to a different city. Nearby, but not really. So, yes. This one got delayed by DHL and then got delayed by USPS. So, this thing was shipped on the 7th. I'm just getting it on the 21st. That's a really long shipping time for CurlBox. But we've got it. But before we get there, we have to do our unfinished business from last month. Plus, I have some extras I wanted to talk about. I did pick up another non-subscription box from them. I really wanted to pick up the last one, but 1, I didn't have the money at the time. 2, even though it was Miele, M-I-E-L-L-E, even though it was them, I didn't have 40 bucks. It would have been an amazing box to get, but I couldn't afford it. So, but I do occasionally. I like to get their $15 to $20 extra boxes. That way I'm not spending any more than what I do on the monthly box. And my hair is being a little bit unruly, but happily so. Okay, hopefully that'll keep them out of the way. Probably not, but we'll try. So the last box I picked up from them that was not a subscription box was a Cream of Nature box. And one of the items I've already talked about briefly in my empties video, and that's the Cream of Nature Coconut Milk for Natural Hair Moisture Curl Hair Milk. I thought I would really like this because it's a hair milk, and I really enjoy my Shea Moisture and Manuka Honey and Mafura Oil milk, but I used this twice. And my dislike of it has nothing to do with what it does on my hair. I can't tell you what it does on my hair because the smell of this is so strong that it makes me nauseous. So, yeah, this did not make me happy, and not using it, I'm going to try to pass it on to my middle daughter who loves coconut stuff. It didn't even smell like coconut to me, but she might like it anyway. But for me, this was just like, this is a no. So the rest of this, however, I've had some success. One of them I haven't really played that much with. For certain styles, I would use it, but for my daily wear, my daily routine, I probably wouldn't. But let's get into the rest of this first. So the first thing is the Cream of Nature Acai Berry and Keratin Strengthening Shampoo for dry, damaged hair. My hair has not been dry or damaged recently, but this seems to be a pretty nice shampoo. I'm going to keep it and keep on using it. It's lavender. It's a light purple in color, very light. It has a light, fruity, but not sweet scent. And what I mean is you're not getting a lot of honey. You're not getting a lot of that really sweetness that, like, it was in the pure honey. It's in a lot of them where it's not just a fragrance, but it is really, really sweet. Has a nice lather. It's not too much of a lather, but it is an existent lather. There's quite a bit of slip with it and minimal tangles. My hair did feel very moisturized, and my wet curl was decent. When I used it with my usual conditioner cocktail minus the Garnier, my hair came out soft and moisturized down to the ends, which has been a problem with shampoos in my hair. Most of the time, I find that my roots and most of the rest of my hair feels nice after a shampoo, but a lot of times my ends feel dry, which is why I bought the Garnier. With this one, I don't need the Garnier. My pre-popping curl ended up being pretty damn good, so that was really nice. When I preconditioned before I shampooed, I could tell the shampoo didn't strip my hair. Some of the silkiness from the leave-in was still in my hair after I rinsed, and I'm really, really impressed with it. I'm actually really like it. From what I can tell, I did a search for it, because as you know, I do, when I buy these things, I put the prices down below. I did a search for it, and I'm not sure if these are being taken out, but they seem to be found only in a few places. I hope they're not taking this out of production, because it's actually a really decent shampoo, at least for my hair. Really, really did like it. Next is the strengthening hair mask that goes with that same thing. This does contain dimethicone, but I think I've mentioned in the past that I can use dimethicone in my hair as long as it's like it's not also, if they don't also have isopropyl alcohol in there. My hair does not react poorly to it. I just try not to use it because of the fact that it creates a barrier. It has the same light lavender color and scent. This is very, very thick and stiff. I honestly think that this would have been better put into a pump. It can be very difficult to get out of the bottle. It doesn't melt into the hair, but it doesn't really need to be worked in either. There was lots of slip, but my wet curl wasn't as good as it usually is with some of my other products and my other conditioners and masks. It was much better once my hair was out of the towel. So basically, the way I wash my hair is I wash and I do my conditioning, I do masking, and I usually do a little conditioning after the masking, not always, but usually. And then I wring some of the water out of my hair and I check my curl then. And so the curl wasn't really the best when I had wrung out my hair. And then I put my hair up while I get myself dried off and get ready to do anything else I'm going to do. And then I take my hair out of the microfiber towel I use. And that curl was actually much more decent when I took it out of the towel. So with a lot of the water in it, the curl wasn't as good as usual, but once I had it out of the towel, it was pretty good. Finally, from that box, we have the Cream of Nature Coconut Milk Shine and Hold Control Glue. I have to be very, very careful how much of this stuff I use because it will turn my hair very, very stiff. It's where it's applied heavier, so I really need to make sure that I only use a little bit and that I put it all the way through my hair and that it's as evenly distributed as possible. Because where it's thicker, where there's too much of it, my hair will be stiff and there will be crunch left behind. Used in minimal amounts, though, it seems to help withhold at least some while keeping my hair fairly soft. This is something I would use with the curl formers when I want to play with those, but it is not something that I would use in my daily hair care. I haven't used it very often, to be honest. I've used it maybe twice. So I still need to play around with it a little bit more. But overall, since I'm still trying to get used to gels and styling products that add some hold without making my hair, I don't know, a helmet, I guess would be the way to go, or towards a helmet. I like my hair to be soft and easily to you know, touch and play around with. I don't like to feel a lot of residue. I know that some residue is going to be there because of the products I use in my hair to keep it moisturized and all of that. But I don't like it to be really firm. Let's go with that. And so this is not something that will work for my my daily because it is a bit of a stiffer hold. It is much more appropriate for when I'm trying to do specific styles where I need a specific, more firmer hold, or for the curl formers where I'm trying to get those to behave. I don't know why my hair can do this on its own, but when I put in the curl formers, it's like, no, not going to do that. Sorry. I don't know. I'm still working on that, but I think this is going to go a long way to helping me figure that out. Okay, so we're on to last month's box, actual box items from the actual subscription. And it was a Cantu box. I have to say, really mixed results for me in particular. The edge control, as you see, it's not opened. I have tried this edge control before, and as I mentioned when I opened the box, to me this is a really sticky edge control. I don't particularly like it, so this is going straight into my Project Beauty Share unopened. It's not a bad edge control. Let me put it this way. It's not a bad edge control. It does hold. I just find the product itself too sticky. I have 2 other edge controllers that I use now that do not have that stickiness while still having the hold and the softness I like. I particularly like my oars that I have. And this one was just, it's that stickiness. I don't like that. The pick, this has been in my purse. I keep it in my purse. I actually really like the pick. It works really well in my hair. I don't pick out the way a lot of people do. I do try to use it to fluff up a little bit. But I don't comb or anything like that. I don't comb my hair much anymore. And it's really good for when I need to flip and get it from underneath. So I actually really like the pick. So the brush. This brush was supposed to be so that you can use it for putting your edge control in. I actually don't like it. I don't like the extra bristles here. If we didn't have these long bristles, I probably would be fine with this brush, but I much prefer using the toothbrush for doing my edges when I'm trying to get them out of the way. But I don't do fancy edges. I just do my edges just to get them out of my way when I'm putting on my makeup. So this is another one that's going to go into Project Beauty Share. I found it awkward, to be honest. The headband. This is actually very pretty, but it is also a little too big for my head. I can use it as long as I put it in, as long as I put one of my banana combs. I can put it around the comb and have the comb hold up my hair and just use this for decoration. This does not actually hold my hair because, like I said, it really is kind of too big and too loose on my head. I never thought I would say that about any kind of product, any kind of headband, but it really is. I do think it's pretty. Probably not going to use it much. I am going to keep it because I actually do like it for the occasional. Probably could have worn it today, but I like my curl today too much. My hair doesn't have the stiffness and the type of curl where if I put it up, it's going to end up being a big floofy bun up top. So between the looseness of my curl and the looseness of the headband, I really do have limited styling options with it, but I do like it enough to keep it, and I do have some ways to use it. So, and I do think it's a very pretty pattern. They do have other patterns and other headbands, and it might just be this one that I got ended up being too big, or being having less stretch in it, I guess, or maybe just be a little bit sized a little bit differently. Next in our box was the Cantu Shea Butter for Natural Hair Curl Stretcher Cream Rinse. This is very thick going on the hands, but it melts right down into the hair like a much thinner product, while also allowing me to loop my hair on top. When I do my conditioning, my hair gets thick enough that I can loop it up and hold, and the conditioner will help hold it on top. This does that same thing, and it'll stay there. There is a lot of slip for something without dimethicone. My hair seems to dry more quickly when I use this, however, which can make styling a little harder for me. So one of the things that I do is I go through and I finger curl a little bit, and if my hair is drying really, really quickly, it gets harder to get the curls around my finger. I have a few of the curls that are just like, I'm just going to do my own thing, whatever. Without preconditioning, my wet curl wet curl, I can talk. Wasn't that impressive, but the curl out of the microfiber towel was. So it was very similar to the Masque from the Keratin one, from the Cream of Nature one we just talked about. I used only the serum and this Cantu curling cream the first time I used this. I needed to use a bit more of the serum, despite it being a non-shampoo day. That was the biggest thing I noticed with on a no pre-con day. When I used the pre-con, did the co-wash, my wet curl was much better, and the pre-popping curl was great. Hair felt soft and silky. Overall, I find this to be okay. My curl ends up looking pretty good, but it's an extra step I don't really need, and it seems to change my curl. Even though my hair was coming out wet with a better curl pattern, better curls wet, when my hair dried, my hair seemed frizzier and my curls more scattered, although the ones that I had were still defined. I'm debating on what to do with it. I'm not sure I can send it to Project Beauty Share because it is a cream product that has been opened. But I don't know if I want to keep it because, like I said, it's an extra. You know what? I think I can give this to the daughter I'm giving the coconut milk to, because she has long hair. Nobody else in this house would use this. They don't have long hair that tangles or anything. So she might actually appreciate this. So that's what I think I'll do, is I'll go ahead and give this to her, and hopefully she will like it and be able to use it. It's not a shampoo or anything, but hopefully she'll enjoy it. So finally we have the Cantu Shea Butter for Natural Hair Coconut Curling Cream, which defines, moisturizes, and strengthens strands. This was very odd to me. I did finally get used to it. The looseness of it in the jar, I mean, it's literally, I don't know if you can see that because of my light, but it's almost like a marshmallow cream. In fact, it's a little looser than that. It looks like a marshmallow cream. It's looser than a marshmallow cream. It made it a bit harder to judge the amount to work with. It kind of reminds me a little bit of my Shea Moisture Manuka Honey Mafur Oil Milk. Although I get that just a tad bit looser than this. Pre-popping curl was a bit less impressive. Finger curling was weird. It seemed a bit easier to do, but the final curls were much looser. My curl, when I finger curl, it doesn't stay wound tight. My hair just doesn't do that. But it can be, it can still be looser than what it usually ends up, and that's what it was like with this one. Some of my more difficult spots, however, I have a section right here where curling is, it's like this. If you look at this, that's not really curled. That's what this front section, most of it tries to do. It just doesn't want to curl for some reason. And I'm working on it. I'm really working on it. It's been getting better, and it does seem to be very dependent on the products I use. But it doesn't, it's nothing like the rest of my hair. It's kind of annoying. But anyway, that section stayed together better. I probably, if I were to continue using this as part of my regular after shower routine, which I probably won't, but if I did, I would probably need to use a lot more of this than I'm used to using with the others. My hair in the morning when I used it was some of the worst curl I've seen, unfortunately. I mean, it was nice and soft, but, and my usual frizz was probably about the level that I've got right now, which is to say there's a few spots where you can see it's kind of scattering out a bit, but overall, there's not a lot of it. So it was like that. But the curl itself was just terrible. It wasn't very defined. It wasn't like this. It wasn't close to this. It wasn't like the curl that you've seen me do in the past. It was just very different. So that was the first time I used this, and I used it with that cream rinse. When I preconditioned and didn't use the cream rinse and used it with my other products, in the middle of the mix, my pre-plopping and pre-finger curling curl looked really good. The finger curling went much easier so I really think a lot of the issues I had the first time was from the cream rinse. My hair felt slicker, so it was much easier to get the curl to go. My curl the next morning was still pretty bad, though again, the frizziness was again reduced, which is actually something I've been fighting for a while, is all that frizziness. When I co-wash with the cream rinse, it was pretty similar in the process and look as when I used the pre-conditioner. My morning curl was much better, although the fuzziness was also more noticeable. All that said, you would think that this is a terrible product for me. However, I did find a use for it. One of the reasons I wash as much as I do, which is going to sound strange, but so I wash one day and I use nothing but conditioner the next. And one of the reasons I do that is because of the way my ends get. My ends get pretty dry. And even when I refresh my curls, that dryness can remain. So I did try this in my dry hair to re-moisturize my curls. And it actually helped restore and define my curls on the dry hair. So I was a bit surprised and pretty impressed with it for that. I've decided to use this in the morning to help refresh my curls rather than to use it as part of my after shower routine. It just does a better job at that than most of my other. I have one or two others that I can use for that. This seems to do better than those two items. It helps spot restore with less frizz, and it adds some much needed moisture. And then over this, I put oil usually for shine. Like I said, overall the box was just, I don't know, it just wasn't all that to me. Got a couple of items I can use. I have a couple of items that I can give to one of my children. And then I have a couple of items from the Project Beauty Share. It's not as good as one of my standard beauty boxes this month, but it's not a horrible box because at least I have some stuff I can use. These three things are not the value of the box, unfortunately. So this was one of the few months with a CurlBox where I essentially lost the value. I ended up paying more than the value of what I could use. But I do have some things for my daughter, and those would take it up. So it's whatever. It wasn't a very good box for me last month. It worked. It had some stuff, but overall, yeah. Okay. Alrighty, so we can finally get into this month's box. I haven't pulled it out. I have opened it up. I will say that I have seen the collection. About a week and a half, 12 days, somewhere in there, after they start shipping, they send out emails detailing the box. I also saw some people on their Instagram. There have been mixed reviews, mixed reactions to it. So I have seen it, but I'm still excited to take a look and share it with you. If my excitement level seems a little bit down, it's because I've already seen it, and this is the one box where I usually get it in time, and I have no clue what's coming. So that's one of the reasons why I end up being very excited about it, is because I have no idea. And that didn't happen this month. So we are a little bit down. Oh, and we've got one of them sitting on top. So we will take the one on top and go ahead and talk about that. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to sit this one on top in front of me and go ahead and just pull out my box. And then, because we usually take a look at the card first, and the card is very pretty. I like the card. Alrighty, so we've got our pink, slightly bent curl box. Let's open this up. This card is gorgeous, really. This card is beautiful. And even if I didn't have to open the card to see what was inside, the big flyer in here would show me. All right, so we've got our usual CurlBox, tag us in Instagram, and then here's our card. Isn't that pretty? So this is the art issue, and the art issue is all about Palmer's Naturals Fusions. We've got a list of what's on here, but all of these are free of parabens, mineral oils, sulfates, phthalates, dyes, gluten, and GMOs. I have a thing about GMOs. I'm not against them. And honestly, most people shouldn't be. But anyway, it says 95% naturally sourced ingredients, family owned and operated, ethically and sustainably sourced, no animal ingredients or testing, includes purified water and ingredient materials derived from a natural source and subjected to limited processing. So that's about the products in general. We've got an exclusive offer to save 40% on the Natural Fusions DIY oil kits. So that's pretty cool. I've heard about the oil kits. I'm not sure. So I've always been an art connoisseur, but having my son has given art a new importance. There's the inside. Very nice. This is one of the nicer cards, I think. I actually really like the way this is. So, love that little card. All right, so we're going to get in here and get into our little box. This is actually a pretty decent sized box. And I was looking at some of the prices, and I do believe this is one of the boxes with one of the highest values I've had. I'd have to double check. It's not as expensive as, say, the Shea Moisture one was, but it's not... the Or's olive oils and some of those are the less expensive products, and it's in the middle there. So I thought that was pretty nice. First we have the Natural Fusions Micellar Rose Water Cleanser Clarifying Shampoo. Gently purifies and nourishes hair. I have to admit, I was a little hesitant about this one because of the whole micellar water. Micellar water does not work for my face, but I've never tried it for hair. I'm going to have to open it the other way. It's a little squirt bottle thing. You do get the scent of roses, but it is very, very light. And it's got a little, it's a squirt bottle. So you see, it's got a little thing. So you would pour it in your hand that way. Let's just take a little bit. A little bit. Oh, it's kind of thick. And it's very clear. And you can see it sudsing up a little bit there. Yeah, that's nice. I can live with that. Alrighty, next we have a sneeze. Sorry. Next we have the Natural Fusions Lavender Rose Water Conditioner. Hydrating repair, replaces lost moisture, and softens hair. Same kind of top. You have to spin it. Thick white cream. Not to be different. The scent on this is even lighter than it is on the shampoo. Yeah, I'm not really getting anything. Feels very soft. At least on my hand. Be nice if it feels that way on the hair, right? Alrighty. I am going to use it, but I suspect that even though it's a light scent, I suspect eventually that rose scent would eventually get just a tad annoying. Roses are pretty in limited quantities, at least the smell. All right, diving back in, we have the Natural Fusions Ceramide Monoi Hair Oil. Nourishes and fuels hair and scalp. Has the same kind of opening. Give me 1 minute. If we're going to see if this has a scent, I probably shouldn't have roses all over my hand. All right, so it has the same kind of opening. Okay, so this is a bit on a looser oil. As you can see, it's going right down there. It has a very light scent. Floral, but not roses. Spreads out nicely. Sad thing is, oil does not defrizz my hair. I've tried it several times. My hair tends to be on the non-porous side. I think that's part of the problem. But it does sometimes help with the curl, bringing the curl back. I use it with when I'm refreshing. So it does seem to help with that. And it does give it shine. So I didn't use a lot, so we're probably not going to see much of a difference in my hair. But I'm happy to have another oil. My Moroccan oil is pretty much gone. I have another oil I've been using. I actually added some olive oil to it to try to thicken up because it was like water. This is a little thicker than that one. That was the Maui Moisture agave raw oil. It's very, very thin. This is a little thicker. The thinness is one of the reasons why I added the olive oil. This is a little thicker, and so I think I might put this one in my bathroom and bring the Maui Moisture out here and use it out here for when I want to refresh my curls. Next we have the Natural Fusions Mallow Root Leave-In Conditioner, smooth comb through and detangling. Oh, and this is a sprayer. So far, my impression of spray type leave-in conditioners hasn't been too impressive. But let's see, do I need to turn you a certain way to open you? No. Alrighty, gonna back up a little bit. Oh, well, that was nice. Also a very light scent, floral, but I'm not getting roses. I like the fact that it was, it's a little milky white. I saw a little bit of milky white. Let me do it one more time and show it to you guys. I like the fact that it's not, the last one I had that was a leave-in, didn't mist, it spotted. Oh, it was annoying. There, you can see some right there, I think. So you can see it's kind of a milky color. Okay, so it's a little bit more rosy when you put a bit more on. It does feel very moisturizing. I'm looking forward to giving that a try. I actually much prefer being able to actually mix it into my, put it on my hand and mix it in my hair. Okay, so last but not least, they also sent their Natural Fusions Chia Seed and Argan Oil Hair Mask. Deeply repairs and boosts hydration. That's huge. How many ounces? 9.5 ounces. So it's not like the 12 ounces we get in the Shea Moisture, but it's bigger than the 8-ounce ones that I get in some of the others. And of course we have our seal, thank goodness. Oh, that's thick. We've got another Crisco one, guys. We also have yelling in the background. My husband's out on the porch watching his show, waiting to make dinner because I'm filming really late. But that's what it looks like. That is not moving. Take a little bit of that. Wow. Okay, for something that's so thick, when you rub it out, it actually feels very thin. But it does feel, it feels like a lotion is what it feels like. Like something you would rub all over your skin, like a lotion. Again, that kind of a rosy scent. Very light. That rubbed out really nice on the skin. We'll see how it works in the hair. Like I said, this all got a really mixed reaction on Instagram, but the few YouTube videos I've looked at they've been pretty happy with it. So looking forward to using it. I especially love the fact that they sent a mask. I love masks. I mask at least once a week, at least sometimes twice. I agree the packaging is very pretty. The scent is very light, but I can see it getting annoying regardless. If you're not a big roses fan, I think the scent might eventually get on your nerves. but we'll see how that goes when I use it. So that's our CurlBox for November, the Palmer's Natural Fusions. I actually got a sample of the shampoo and conditioner in one of my Walmart boxes, and because I was so happy with everything else and didn't even look to see if it was for curly hair or anything, I ended up putting into the box that's going to Project Beauty Share, and those little packets are in there. So it's kind of interesting that this ended up being the CurlBox for November too. Anyway, looking forward to using those. So hopefully I can come back with a really good report. I'm especially for this. I'll take the mask. I'll take the mask and the oil anytime. Anyway, I hope you like what you've seen, and if you're not subscribed, that you'll subscribe. If you don't, we'll understand. I'm not everybody else's cup of tea, but if you do subscribe, do hit the notification bell so you know when I upload. And if you're part of my notification squad, yes indeed, I am still getting bumped off my notifications, so you may want to check your bell, just so you know when I upload next time, which should be Monday. Whether you're subscribed or not, I do hope you'll come and visit us again. And when you do come to visit us again, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. Yeah, I think I can live with this. It's, considering everything has been roses today. Yeah, this is a cinnamon rose. These have rose. It's been a rosy day. I got rosy lipstick. It's kind of a rosy day. It's a really nice tea. It's bordering on a dessert tea. Not quite. Could be the amount of sugar I put in, because we all know I am a sugar girl. It's also a tea that tastes like it's been cooling off. It tastes like it'll be good as a cold tea. So I always love a tea that I can use hot or cold. Looking forward to drinking some more of this one. Kind of like it. Gonna have to check out one other a second time. Use a little bit more of it, see if we get more flavor. So far in the box though, only one of them has been a complete failure for me. Really like it. Anyway, moving right along. I hope you have a great day, and